And welcome back, everybody, to I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room. Of course, with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, make it a Fatty Beer. Let them know we over here at Two Goalies, One Mike sent you. I can't express it enough. I say it after every promo read. One of my favorites is the chicken sandwich they have there, the fat dog with the fat sauce, their own special sauce they have at Fatty Beer. And then, of course, the FEM mango wheat, also very, very good. Again, let them know that we sent you. And, of course, Extreme Discount Mattress with Western New York's finest selection of mattresses and adjustable beds, featuring the cool gel memory foam, two-sided mattresses, Telluride latex, organic mattresses, Chatham & Wells, Scott Living, and even the Skechers mattress, all for a third to one-half the supposed sale prices anywhere. Stop into any of their 7 locations across Western New York to check out their website, which is extrememattress.com with an X. If you're looking for even more savings, check out their new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga with up to 80% off their already low prices. Save a fortune on their one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. You can get a quality mattress for literally pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell mattresses for less, a lot less. Also, don't forget to mention that you're a Two Goalies One Mike fan when you go in to buy a mattress, and they'll be sure to give you a matching mattress protector for all of your needs. So, pretty good deals over at Extreme Discount Mattress. I know they got some pretty big Black Friday sales too. Again, they will take care of you down over there. Please make sure you give them a look. And, Sabres win 2 in a row. As the title of this episode says, they rock the Hurricanes 4-1. Tage continues the goal streak. Alex Tuch is really starting to heat up. Fans have been especially critical of him on Twitter, with obviously the rumors of what he wants in a new contract. Well, people are saying, well, he's not worth it. Well, I think he's worth it. I think he's easily worth $10 million a year, given the comparables you've seen, like the Adrian Kempes. I would pay him $10 million a year in a heartbeat, no doubt about it. Zach Benson and Matthias Samuelsson, how big of difference makers they are for this team. I can't believe I'm saying that in Matthias Samuelsson, a guy who has literally turned his career around night and day. It's funny. I tweeted the Two Goalies One Mike page. We tweeted out the one hit he had in front. I forget who it was on, but he absolutely laid him out, took care of the front of his net. And I decided I decided to tweet at Chris Pronger. I forget. I'll pull it up in a minute. I forget exactly what I said, but he said, "Oh, that's definitely Pronger-esque. Had to get him in the gym. He's looked great this season." Yeah, he's looked fantastic. No doubt about it. He has been their most productive, not just defensively, but offensively defenseman this season. Can you believe that? Like, that's kind of crazy, right? I see some chats in the I've seen some comments in the chat for who has he been possessed by? I don't know. Cale Makar, Rasmus Dahlin, he has been incredible, to say the least. And UPL had a great game today. And I trust me, dude, I've been a very critical of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen over the past 2 seasons. Honestly, ever since they gave him that contract. And I tweeted it out after the game, and I'll say it now. There is zero criticism of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen if he can just do this more consistently, because we've seen this song and dance before, right? We've seen him play to this level before for a few games and then completely bottom out. We just need this a lot more consistently, no doubt about it. So extremely excited to see what we'll be getting from UPL. And let's talk about Zach Benson. Zach Benson has been absolutely fantastic when he has played for this team. I think they have 1 loss in regulation. I think I read that. One loss in regulation in games where he has played in. I don't really think that is a coincidence of his importance to this team. Just from, I mean, he's an agitator. He's a pest. He's a playmaker. He's not afraid to go in all areas of the ice to score a goal. And that's the only thing he really hasn't. I don't think he's done that this season. I don't think he's scored a goal yet. And it's, he's getting his chances. They're bound to come. Jack Quinn also has been fantastic as of late, finding open ice, getting himself in areas where he can score and get scoring chances. You saw the goal from against Chicago on the pass from Sucker, and then you saw him score again tonight, just finding open ice and able to put himself in a position to score. Jack Quinn has looked good. But again, I say this just like the UPL, it just needs to be more consistent. You just can't disappear for games at a time. You have to stay consistent. And I think that is going to be, a focus for fans, especially on players like him, on players like UPL, on players like, Alex Tuck. Be consistent. Every player is going to have peaks and valleys. Throughout an 82 game season. We just need a lot more peaks than we have valleys. And hopefully this is the start of a trend, especially for Jack Quinn, a guy that we're going to lean on quite a bit this season, where we need to lean on to provide that depth scoring. And I do also want to touch too, and I'm going to bring up the post-game quotes. Apparently, Jordan Greenway was actually scratched tonight because of load management. He just got back. And I don't know, man. I don't think Jordan Greenway is a good enough of a player to be missing games because of load management. I've seen a lot of concerns from some of you guys in the chat too when it comes to Jordan Greenway. Maybe let me bring up the exact quote here from Brian Koziel. Ruff says that Greenway sat today due to load management to help build up some strength in between games. I don't know, man. I don't know we're sitting Jordan Greenway. He's already been hurt. Was it twice now this season? He's sitting games for load management, and we're sending down like a guy like Rosen back to Rochester, a guy who has done nothing but produce since we brought him up. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think you can justify, sitting Jordan Greenway for load management. I like Jordan Greenway a lot. I like his game a lot. I like the style he plays. I think every team needs a player like Jordan Greenway, but I don't know. Is there a lot much that Josh Dune does that? Are there things that Jordan Greenway does that Josh Dune can't? You know what I mean? And can we really justify not having Isaac Rosen up in this lineup because of guys like Jordan Greenway or to some extent Peyton Krebs? We need to continue to score at this high of a clip. And I don't know. I'm not going to say I think I've seen everything I need to see from Jordan Greenway, but yeah, man, I don't think that you can sit here and have him miss games here and there to help him build up strength. I don't know. I don't really know what he went through injury wise, so it's tough for me to really comment on what he's going through physically or like a pain tolerance thing. But I don't know. I want to make the playoffs. I don't want to be talking about 15 years. I don't want to be come post Christmas already thinking about the draft this year or the trade deadline and being sellers. Like, I want to make the playoffs. I just don't want to be hearing about load management for Jordan Greenway and sending guys back to Rochester that can help produce more consistently offensively than Jordan Greenway. Just be completely honest. So I have raised eyebrows. It's almost like the team is better when the best center on the team plays center instead of wing. Yeah, we've talked about that quite a bit. Tage, I know Lindy is very adamant that he's a better goal scorer on the wing, but he has a 94-point season at center. To me, that's where he belongs. And even Tage, even not I wouldn't say necessarily taking a shot at Lindy, but like even Tage has said it. Like, yeah, I mean, I feel more comfortable playing there. And if that's where your guy feels more comfortable playing, then that's where you should play him. Right? Like if he feels that he helps the team more playing center, then that's where you should play him. He's in the midst of a 6-game goal streak since you moved him back to center. I don't think that's a coincidence, that he's playing the best hockey of the season so far while playing down the middle. So Samuelson continues to play physical and is the best Sabres defenseman of late. I wouldn't say of late, the whole season. The whole season. I don't think it's debatable. He has been their best defenseman all season. Tage would still be at wing if not for injury. Thank God for injuries. I wouldn't say thank God for injuries, but maybe the injuries are what made Lindy see the light here. Yeah. I do want to address the goalie interference, and I'll bring it up too, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. How you call? So how do you call this? Was a good goal. I'm gonna bring it up here in a second. How do you call this back? Well, I mean, actually, no. I'm sorry. How do you uphold this call as no goal? Let me see if I can bring it up here. Let me see. Find the notification. I just don't understand how this call was upheld. But then the goal on Buffalo, where UPL is clearly interfered with. Clear as day interfered with. And we're going to sit here and say that this was there has to be consistency. And there is none. This is turning into a Mickey Mouse hockey league. It's a joke. So I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let's see here. Share screen. You guys can see it. And like, I don't understand it because Anderson puts his glove into him. Like, yeah, his skate touches him a little bit, but like it's almost like, and I saw a comment too, and I kind of agree with it, considering how the league has been when it comes to goalie interference. It's almost like in situations like this, goaltenders are almost orchestrating their own goalie interference calls. And here's the thing. You're going to say that this is no goal, and then upon review, uphold it that it was no goal, which again, to me is a joke. But then I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to look for the other one. You're going to sit here and tell me that this was a goal. I personally, there's just no consistency with these calls. And honestly, the explanations are a joke. Let me see here. I got to find it. Let me see. Give me one moment here, guys. I apologize. Let me see if I can find the call I was looking for. But the goal that was scored on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen by Gostisbehere, I just don't understand how that play is upheld. Like, to me, that's clear as day. Clear as day. Goalie interference, especially if you're going to call the Bryson goalie interference. Give me one moment here. Pulling it up. A lot to go through. Our boy Connor Hurley was at the game tonight as he's home in Buffalo for the holiday, and he here it is. And excuse the typo. Excuse the typo, but I don't know how you call off the Bryson goal and uphold it upon review, but then sit here and can say with a straight face that this is a goal. And I'll let it replay here. I know I can't bring it up full screen for whatever, but tell me how that's a goal. How is that a goal? I don't care if he was helped. There just needs to be more consistency, and there is no consistency. And we're fortunate enough that didn't cost us tonight, because that's like essentially a 2-goal swing. Now, if that was called no goal. If that was called no goal upon review, does it get reversed? I mean, maybe, probably, because again, he was helped into UPL a little bit for sure. But you watch what happened with the Bryson goal. To me, that's like, I don't know. I played goalie in an era where we were getting bumped constantly. We had to fight through a lot, and the shit that gets called no goal these days compared to what was allowed when I played, it's night and day different. Like, I mean, I'm not saying goalies shouldn't be catered to, protected. They should, but in instances like that where it almost seems like Fred Anderson is literally intentionally, kind of knowing that he's almost out of position. I don't know how much time do these goalies need to get reset? Like the goal the other night, that was called off. Like, how much time does Sunderblom need to get himself reset? I don't get it. Personally, I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me. So, yeah, I'm gonna hit the peanut gallery here too. Duane is proving to be a valuable player on both ends of the ice. Duane has been absolutely fantastic, and yeah, he does play a little bit like his dad. But his dad says this. His dad says he has much better hands than him because when Duane was younger, he was much smaller. So he had to find ways to contribute because of his lack of size. And then he had that big growth spurt. And guess what? He has hands and size. So Sabres ahead of Leafs and Rangers 3 points from a playoff spot. I mean, I know the Rangers, imploded last season, a year removed from winning the President's Trophy. But yeah, man, Toronto, I wasn't sure what to think of them coming in because, you have they lost Marner, leaning more heavily on guys like Matthew Nyes. But yeah, man, the East is really interesting right now, especially the Atlantic Division, because again, nobody has broken away from the pack. Nobody has. Maybe it takes until Christmas for that to happen, but it's fair game right now for the wild card. After everything we just went through over the past couple of weeks and all the criticism and the despair and everything else. Excuse me. Everything else. You're only 3 points out of a wild card. It's almost like the hockey gods are trying to gift you with a playoff spot, especially with some of these games and the way you've played. So, breaking news. Buffalo tested the beer Sabres before Wednesday game. Not too sure what you mean by that. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, the beer Sabres have been impaired. The butter dish was a nice add-on to the vibes, I guess. Lack of a better way of saying it, the vibes. So you got the beer saber, you got the butter dish. It's definitely hopefully reversed the curse of the gravy boat, even though I don't really think that was a curse. It was just they just kind of stunk. The barn was absolutely rocking today, and the boys were very physical with tons of big hits. Yeah, like Samuelson too, man. Oh my god. Matthias Samuelson, man. I just can't. I almost want to go buy a Samuelson jersey. We wanted to run him out of town at the end of last season. Now people want to go buy his jersey. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good time. Who possessed Samuelson this year? I don't know. Samuelson laid out Jackson Blake in front of the net. Yep, we tweeted that out. That was a great hit. There was another big hit along the boards that he had where he rubbed his guy out and just laid him out. Still say UPL played great, but good. Not sure where you're going with that. More trade value. I mean, hey, I mean, I can't see them going with this 3 goalie rotation all season, and we'll see who the odd man guy out is. And it looks like Lindy's just pretty much going to ride the whole thing. If you win, you're in. He's going to keep playing you if you win. So, can't go through the year with 3 goalies. I tend to agree. Solid win. The consistency is the biggest reason they look different. This is the Samuelson everyone was waiting for. I'm surprised. I'm as surprised as you. Everybody's surprised. Trust me. But you have to say, like, he played a lot of that time unhealthy and apparently had lower back issues. And I don't know, man. I'm happy. I'm happy to be proven wrong. No doubt about it. When Norris comes back, what do you do with the lines? I still say Tage your number one center. I don't think you fuck with that. There's no way you fuck with that. I mean, it's a war crime if you take him out of the middle. I think Tage playing this well at center is great for your depth. You move Norris to a second line center role, McLeod to the third. I mean, you're without Kulik for an extended amount of time, possibly for the whole season. Like blood clots, that's no joke, especially in professional sports. So, my opinion is Norris is your second line center. McLeod gets bumped down to your third. That's the way it should be. Um, what a great win. Sammy is like a new player. Is like a new player we traded for. Love his physical play. If he gets in a fight, I think I will spontaneously combust. Yeah, man. I love it that we're all just praising Matthias Samson because I loved him when they drafted him. He was captain of the Team USA, the US NTDP. He had all the qualities to be a solid stay-at-home level defenseman. And the health thing has just always been a concern and it has really nagged him. And it's great to see that, he's finally starting to find his game and knock on wood that he stays healthy and continues to play this because we really need him to. We really, really, really need him to. The boys play consecutive complete games. They've got a stretch of very winnable games before their next homestand. Agreed. They got to play better on the road, and this is a good opportunity because, like you said, the next stretch of their games, they're very, very winnable games. I think it's pretty clear the coaching staff has a lot of issues identifying who the best players are. Remember, they thought Tage was a winger. Holy Malenstein. Yeah, I'm going to bring that up too. The Beck Malen Beast goal was like absolutely undressed Sebastian Aho. Like made him his bitch or whatever you want to say. That was awesome. And I hate, some people hate that type of language, but I mean, I don't care. That was fantastic. Let me see here. We find the Malenstein goal. Our notifications are kind of blowing up right now, so it keeps on refreshing. Here we go. The Beck Malenstein goal was absolutely incredible, to say the least. So let me see if I can bring that up here. One moment. The Beck Malenstein goal. Share screen. Okay. Boom. This goal was awesome. Undresses Aho. Backhand to forehand. And what a celly. Let's watch that just one more time. Reminds me of like Brad May, the Mayday goal. The way he undressed Ray Bork. Very reminiscent of that. It's the first thing I thought of when watching that replay. Yeah, Beck Malenstein, one of the goals of the season. And, as much as sometimes fans like to get on Beck Malenstein and criticize him and say he doesn't offer enough, that guy sells out. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Joey Castrino, who I played hockey with for quite some time. And, he was a defenseman. Wasn't like a bone crunching hitting defenseman, but, he was a solid, puck moving defenseman, put it that way. We were talking about Beck Malenstein, and we both compared him to a more skilled version of Pat Coletta. Pat Coletta would do anything to block a shot. He'd put his face in front of a puck if he needed to. He would hit anything that moved. You always appreciated Pat Coletta for him willing to sell out to win a hockey game and to help his team. I see those same traits in Beck Malenstein, but the big difference there is Malenstein gives you the ability to maybe to produce a little bit more offensively. But I think the comparison is pretty accurate between the type of traits and characteristics and qualities that both those players what Malenstein currently has and what Coletta had, to say the least. So, Malenstein with a Datsuk moment can do more than hit. I agree. I swear this team is more all over the place than the United Nations. Don't have any identity, don't know what you're gonna get, and every day you're aging faster from stress. I agree with you, man. It's crazy because a week ago we were like ready to burn it all down, sell the team. And then you get two very impressive wins, one of which where you score 9 goals. And then you add another 4 tonight against a very good Carolina Hurricanes team. Um, Guess we shouldn't buy out Samuelson. Who would have known? I agree. I couldn't have agreed. It's a Butte Clark referring to the Sabres play today. Yeah, great holiday reference. One of my favorite Christmas movies. Um, I agree. Um, but I think heading into the rest of the season, or sorry, the schedule ahead, which I'm going to pull up right now. Um, you have to keep this train going. You have to keep this momentum going. They have the Penguins, a very winnable game. Jack Hughes-less Devils team. You have to keep the momentum going. The Penguins are away, and then you have the Devils at home, and then you're back on the road against the Wild. Again, a very winnable game. And then you have the Jets. The Jets in Buffalo, and I don't know if you guys heard this. I think Eric Comrie is now the starting goalie because of the injury to Connor Hellebuck, and he had surgery. He's gonna be out 4 to 6. So, that definitely tilts the odds, hopefully in Buffalo's favor. But hopefully we don't get one of those Devin Cooley things where, Eric Comrie comes in and plays the game of his life and shuts out Buffalo and sends us all home crying. So I hope that's not the case. So, yeah, but back Malenstein, fantastic game. Alex Tuck has been really, really turning up the heat. Again, I know there are some people, especially sometimes in the chat, that disagree with me that Alex Tuck isn't deserving of the money he wants, and I think he is. I just do. And that's gonna be a tough sell because if you're playing well enough to be a playoff team and you're on the outside looking in, or maybe if you're lucky enough to be in a wild card or just maybe not even a wild card, a playoff spot, how do you trade Alex Tuck? You have to get this guy signed. I think you do. I'm assuming he wants term too. I think in the most perfect world, given his age, some people would probably say, can we get him for a 5-year deal for 10 million, 5 years, 50 million? That'd be fantastic. But I think that he wants security and he wants to know that, whatever contract he's signing, that he's not gonna have to worry about this. He wants to cash in now. 80 million over 8 years sounds a lot better than 50 over 5. Or maybe it's 88 over 8, or maybe it's 55 over 5. I don't know. But I just think that you have to find a way to get that guy under contract. No doubt about it. And I hope that Kevin Adams doesn't see this as an opportunity to kind of sit back and relax. I still think you need to make improvements to this team, both offensively and even some respects defensively. You're going to be without Kesslering for who knows how long. I don't think fans, myself included, will be comfortable just riding Jacob Bryson through this stretch of games, no matter depending on how serious this Kesslering injury is. Yeah, I think you got to find ways to still improve this team. No doubt about it. Repost, Krebs was great today. Give him the love and quit shitting on him. Malenstein's goal doesn't happen without his play. Yeah, I mean, Krebs took a hit to make a play. I'm not shitting on Peyton Krebs. Listen, I know some people think I shit on Peyton Krebs. I love Peyton Krebs. I do. My thing with Peyton Krebs is this. You have all these former first-round picks waiting to play. You just sent back Isaac Rosen, who had I think 3 goals and 6 points in the 10 games he played. How many points does Peyton Krebs have this season? How many did he have last season? He's a former first-round pick that's never really found his identity on this team. He's a pest. He's a agitator. He sticks up for his teammates, and you love to see the things that Peyton Krebs does. Sometimes some of the things that Peyton Krebs does are the only bright spot of a Sabres game. But is what Peyton Krebs does worth keeping a Rosen in Rochester? Is it worth keeping Hellenius next year in Rochester? No, it's not. The answer is no. To me, it's no. I love everything about his game, but you can find those guys all over the league. You just can. And I just don't feel that he's worth keeping more talented players in Rochester or off this roster. That is the only reason I think like that. Yeah, and Hellenius is doing it. He's really helping carry that team offensively right now in Rochester. You got to remember, like up until today, I know Rosen went back, but they've been playing a big chunk of game or a big chunk of the season, Rochester season so far. They've been up here with us. Yeah, but Rosen cost them 2 goals because he's not complete yet. Yeah, I mean, he's like 21, 22 years old or whatever it is. Like yeah, he's not the complete player yet, but I'm sorry. The answer is still the same. He contributed while he was here. He did more good than bad while he was here. Go watch the tape. He did. And again, this isn't a shit on Peyton Krebs podcast. I'm sorry, it's not. But in my eyes, to break a 14-year playoff drought, to keep up, to be more consistent from an offensive standpoint, I'm just not I'm not on that side of keeping guys like that in Rochester that are hungry and want to play and want to contribute. That's just me. Krebs' role is needed. You got to have those guys. But you have those guys though. You do have those guys. What do you mean Josh Doan isn't going to be that guy? He's already proven he can be. You know, Samuelson's proving to be more like that guy, the guy who's going to be physical and stand up for his, hopefully continue to stand up for his teammates. You know, we thought last year after the Tage Thompson hit that he was on his way out, but you know, I don't know, man. You can find those guys on this team currently. Josh Doan isn't that guy. I like Peyton Krebs. I do. I just need him to contribute offensively, and he just doesn't. He does not. Not enough, at least. We just can't keep these guys in Rochester forever. You can't. You know, Peyton Krebs. Let me bring up his stat line. Again, I know offensive stats aren't everything, and I know he's loved in that locker room, and I know people will probably be sad to see him go, but he has 6 total points in 22 games played this season. He's a -10. I mean, he's invaluable. We're going to sit here and say that guy's invaluable, that we have to have him. I'm sorry. I just disagree. I disagree. And then you bring up Isaac Rosen, the guy we just set down. And yeah, I see, you know, who's fighting? Peyton is. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Gar, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What? We're going to keep Peyton Krebs because he'll fight every once in a while? No. Disagree. Disagree, dude. Disagree. No way. I'm not keeping Peyton Krebs because he'll fight. In 10 games played, Rosen has 7 points. 7 points. In double the games played, he has more points than Peyton Krebs. Or I'm sorry, in half the games played, he has more points than Peyton Krebs. I don't know, man. I think that's your answer for me. Like, I understand that Peyton Krebs plays a role, and maybe he's a coach's favorite and he's a fan favorite when he does play that agitator. But if I'm looking to break a playoff drought, to me, he's just not the guy. That's just me. I love some of the qualities he does bring, but he's a former first-round pick. When the Eichel trade happened, you know, the big word on him was they were very hesitant to trade him because he was their best prospect at the time. They didn't want to include him in the deal, this, that, and the other. And you know what? I mean, pretty sure they're happy they did now. Yeah. and I definitely agree with this point here from Mark Reed. We finally have guys pushing to see ice time, can't look over their shoulder. Rosen is a powerhouse and should not be in the AHL. He's a -2 in 10 games. What does that mean? Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, who's going to contribute more on your power play? Isaac Rosen. He's proven that he can. Who's faster? Isaac Rosen. Who already has more chemistry with guys on this team? Isaac Rosen. We're just not doing this. We're not doing this. I'm not. I refuse to. I refuse to. I won't do it. Rosen potential is the sky is the limit with that rookie. Well, he's not a rookie. He's been in the league for, he's been around for a minute. I don't know how many games he would have to play to be considered his rookie season. Maybe it is. I don't know. But he's been around for a minute. This wasn't his first time making his. He scored his first NHL goal, I believe, this season. No, I tell Joey. I was actually just talking about you earlier. No, you can't. You definitely can't put Rosen on the fourth line. No. But I don't know, man. I just Peyton Krebs, you keep him around because he's a good locker room guy, or he'll fight every once in a while. But Rosen had more points than Peyton Krebs in half the games played. Half the games played. He's shown chemistry with Ostlund and Quinn and pretty much anybody you put him out there with. I like Peyton Krebs. I do. But this team just isn't deep enough scoring wise to sacrifice an Isaac Rosen and send him back to Rochester, or Noah Ostlund and send him back to Rochester because of Peyton Krebs. Peyton Krebs needs to be looking over his shoulder because Isaac Rosen is chomping at the bit to get another opportunity. And if you're asking me in a game or maybe a series of games, who I want on the ice, if it potentially means a playoff spot or not, I'm not saying Peyton Krebs. I'm just not. Just not. Call up Rosen from Rochester. I've already spent way too much time on this conversation. No doubt about it. And Joey, I just brought up, it's funny, I saw you in the chat. Welcome to the show. We brought up our conversation there tonight about, a Beck Malenstein being a more talented version of Pat Coletta, and a lot of people agreed. So I'm gonna hit the post-game comments here from Brian Koziel, but I'm going to give another shout out to our sponsors at Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, make it a Fatty Beer. Let them know we sent you over here at Two Goalies, One Mike. And of course, Extreme Discount Mattress.
We know with Skechers, your day starts with the comfort and support you need for your feet. And now that same innovation has made its way to the bedroom. Introducing the Skechers Sleep System. With cooling SketchKnit fabric, pressure-relieving Skechers Max cushioning, and our Skechers Posture Fit support system. Your day ends just like it began, with Skechers comfort that never stops. Skechers mattresses, exclusively at Extreme Discount Mattress, the lowest prices in the nation.
Once again, another shout out to our our sponsors at Fatty Beer Company and Extreme Discount Mattress. Okay, the post-game comments here brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Extreme Discount Mattress. Malenstein on his great move to score. I don't think it's successfully worked out for me for about 10 years since juniors. It's been in the back pocket for a while. I think he may even blacked out, not going to lie. Malenstein says the success as of late has been creating pressure in the offensive zone, having a 3-man unit up front. It's been more consistency and playing with a lot of speed. It puts the opponent's D-man under a little more pressure. Quinn says high compete and using speed. It's been Quinn on Quinn's game says high compete and using his speed. It's been working for his line lately. Quinn says he feels great great right now. Confidence is high. Says the line is playing really well. Says even when he wasn't scoring, there has been a lot of good out there. Quinn says his arm feels good after the collision with the post. That was a little scary to see too. I was kind of in disbelief his arm even found a way to hit the post after he had the scoring chance during the second period. UPL, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this too. Luukkonen says he's trying to stay positive, control what he can control in terms of playing time. It's not where every goalie wants to be, but it's not his call. But they have to keep winning. Luukkonen says the team has played really well and as of late in front of him. Says the more games you get, the better you will play as a goalie. Ruff says they are dealing with adversity better. Thought it was a huge part of their win today. Ruff on the no goal call for Bryson. It's a call I totally disagree on. Says there were others that have gone against them that have not been, that have been worse. And I agree, there have been. Case in point, later on in today's game. Ruff says UPL has played great. The second and third periods were good in terms of giving up grade A chances. Says maybe the volume was there, but they were not high danger chances. I definitely agree with that. Ruff on Malenstein says jokingly he told him that he's taking him off the second PK and moving him to the first power play unit. Ruff says Greenway sat today due to load management to help build up more strength in between games. Ruff says Rosen made a difference while he was up here. Says it was a numbers thing with players returning from injury. And again, I get it, but in the long term, man, if he continues to light it up in Rochester, I don't know how you can ignore that, especially when, the East is as close as it is. You have to put your most talented players on the ice. And if he's knocking on the door again, to me, how do you not open it for him? Anyone say what's going on with Lyon? I don't know. I think this is a situation where they're playing the goalie who wins. Colton Ellis won a game, so they played him the next game. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen won, so they played him the next game. Won again. I imagine he'll probably start this next game. So Alex Tuch, if he scores 40 goals, you got to sign him around $11.8 million per year, in my opinion. While Alex Tuch is a Buffalo Sabres, they need to get the most out of him. I couldn't agree with you more. UPL is back. I do want to address this because I've been a very, very big critic of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on both here and on two goalies I'm like. And here's the thing. I just want my team to win. I don't care who's in net. I just want to win. But when it comes to Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, I'm going to try and phrase this properly. I just need more consistency from him, because we've seen that we've done this song and dance with him before, where he'll come in and he'll play a fantastic game. We all remember that 30 game stretch he had a few seasons ago where he got that contract, but then not long after that, he lost his job to Craig Anderson. Last year showed signs of being that guy, but then eventually lost his game to James Reimer. Obviously, you can't fault him for I don't know how you feel about it, but fault him for starting the season hurt. Not really be able to have a training camp or whatnot. But Alex Lyon came in and he played great. And now you're seeing 2 games in a row where Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, in terms of the 9-3 game, he made that huge save on Bedard, a very timely save when they needed it. And that could have, been a game-changing moment in terms of for the Blackhawks, where maybe they could have gotten that game back within 2 and within reach, and maybe, momentum shifts in their favor. But for all intents and purposes, I feel like it was a very low event game for UPL against Chicago. Today, maybe a little different. I wouldn't say they had a ton of high danger quality chances, but here's the thing, especially in the third period, he came up big when they needed him. And that's what you need from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. But you need it more consistently. And that's always been my biggest issue with UPL, is just not getting the consistency. Yeah, here we go. Great point from Ann. Give me more than 2 games. Help us go on 3 to 7 game winning streaks. I mean, I don't know about winning streaks, but yeah, it'd be nice to see 4, 5, 6 games in a row like this for him. And here's the thing: you just haven't really ever gotten that from him, and you're paying him to be a guy that does give you that tool. I mean, I want to be wrong about him. I do. I really, really do. I've gotten into debates with other people on different platforms about him and my views on him. And I think, he's had ample amount of time to prove that he's a starting goalie in this league, right? Like, he's had his chances. He's had his opportunities. He's lost the starting job multiple times. So you got to take these 2 games that you just had, throw them in that momentum chamber, or however you want to, whatever friggin', however you want to phrase it, and just keep moving forward and keep getting wins and stacking wins. Because right now we have a 3 goalie rotation, and Alex Lyon, I'm sure, is chomping to get back in net right now, because we had him on the show. He is a competitor. And I do believe that he will live up to the moment, given the opportunity, and have a great game if given the chance again, whenever that is. I actually care what goaltender they stick in the blue paint. I mean, yeah, you do, but I don't care whose name it is if they're winning. If they get the wins, it doesn't matter to me. Just win. Just win. I think we all can agree that, the goalie who gives us the best chance to win should be in the net every night. We'll see if that's going to be UPL, because, again, 2 games in a row, you get 2 wins. You came up with some very timely saves today in the third period when it was needed. Just need more consistency. So that's all I got for you guys today. Go enjoy some football, in the 4:00 games. At least we don't have to worry about the Bills today. That was nice, because I already did that on Thursday. One last comment, or last couple comments here. You can feel the mental game is a lot higher on Lyon. I trust him to shake things off better. Yeah, we've said that on this show a couple times. Like, the hardest, it's one of the hardest, most difficult positions in all of sports mentally. It is that, and pitching in baseball, because the game can be won and lost in 5 minutes. In the first period, you give up 4 goals on 5 shots, and all of a sudden you're in a 4-0 hole. Or as a pitcher, you could have 1 bad inning and be down 8-0. It's a fact. So, and that's where I've always felt that UPL is lacking compared to goalies like Lyon, because if you listen to them both talk, you listen to the way they view the game and the way they react, and having that, and how they have that next goal mentality, how they have that next game mentality. I think that if you can get UPL to have that type of mindset and have more confidence in himself and in his game, then he can take his game to the next level and be that more consistent guy. I just don't think we've seen that yet from him. And I want to see it from him. I do. At the end of the day, I just care about my hockey team winning. That's all I care about. That's all I will ever care about. So, again, guys, I hope you guys have a great night. For those of you who went to the game, hope you got an awesome butter dish. The butter lamb dish looked awesome. I know Curl's got one today. So, with that being said, we'll talk to you later. And as always, go Sabres.